Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. You know what time it is, update time once again, and I am back with all the things that you need to know about the November 2023 update in Marvel Contest of Champions. As usual, we will cover 6 or 7 things that I think are important for you to know for the upcoming month, starting with number 1, the new champs for November are Kushala and Chee'ilth. So Kushala was in 1 or 2 of the Summoner's Choice votes, never really gained enough traction. She's a Sorcerer Supreme, she's a Spirit Rider, very, very cool looking champion. Chee'ilth is a brand new Kabam original character that they designed for Marvel. She's getting some comics upcoming for them, which is pretty cool. So I played with both of these champions in Vancouver at the Battle Realm Brawl. I liked them both, but for me, Kushala was in this next level tier. She's like a combination of like Dr. Voodoo and a little bit of Wiccan, but she's also very much like a Ghost Rider type champion. So she has the same type of judgment mechanics that OG Ghost Rider and CGR have. So she was also designed by my good friend and alliance mate DLL, and he designs nothing but winners. So I had told him that I had sworn off featured Paragon crystals until I played with Kushala at Vancouver. So RIP units, I guess. Number 2 is the side quest for November, and it's called the Dark Catacombs. Now, normally, I don't really cover the side quest, but I do want to point out here that in the rewards for next month's side quest, so this is from a solo event for Paragon players, there is Tier 2 Primordial Dust, and assuming that these events stack like they did this month, there is also Tier 2 Primordial Dust in the Thronebreaker solo event as well. So, if I'm reading this correctly, it looks like we will be getting an additional 6-star Ascension in the month of November, which is pretty cool. I do really like Ascension a lot. I like how it's closing the gap between 6-star rosters and 7-star rosters for the time being, at least until rank 3s are more common and we start seeing rank 4s at some point, hopefully in the distant future, right? So yeah, look forward to your 3rd Ascension. I just did my 2nd Ascension yesterday, and I actually agonized over it for probably close to a week or more until I saw that we were getting additional dust next month, and I was like, okay, well, I can just choose someone now, and then we'll get another one next month. So look forward to that. Number 3 is the Necropolis, and if you've been living under a rock for the past few weeks, Necropolis is the follow-up to Abyss, the next Everest content, and it comes out very soon in just 2 weeks on November 15th. So there's not much info available out there yet. We were shown a teaser video during the Battle Realm Brawl, and I think that was shown during the finals as well on stream. So during this video right now, there is a Kabam live stream going on, and they're supposed to be talking in more detail about Necropolis, including the rewards. So if you were not able to tune into that live, then you should definitely check out that video on demand. So we were given a chance to test out 2 of the fights in Vancouver. There was a Diablo and there was an Airwalker, but we weren't really given any insider info on the content other than a few nuggets which I can share with you. So there's no more evade, the Abyss and the Labyrinth evade, very irritating, annoying mechanic. That's gone. The map will be fully unlocked just like the Abyss and Labyrinth maps are now. The boss will be the Nameless Grandmaster. No idea what his abilities look like. We were told that it's going to be similar but very different also to the Grandmaster fight from Act 6. So, take that however you want it, I guess. There will be 6 total paths required for exploration, and I think 14 fights per path. If I might be wrong on that. My memory might be incorrect. The kill switch mechanic is also going to be different this time around. So this time it's like a timer on you, and the timer is based on your challenge rating. So if you have high ranking 7 stars, you're going to be giving more time for each fight. And then the timer is paused during all special attacks, and you gain additional seconds on the timer whenever you use a striker. So not only do you want high-ranking, high-rarity champs, you also want high-ranking, high-rarity relics as well on those champions. We were told that this content was intended to be more heavily focused on RPG and gameplay type counters rather than high amounts of skill and brute force. So That said, I'm sure we're still going to have some truly rage-inducing fights in there, so, look forward to that. I'll probably do my first path live. I'm not really interested in jumping in on day one. I'll just kind of take a wait-and-see approach and see, what people who are jumping in on day one think are the best counters and whatnot, so we'll see what happens with that. Number 4 is Alliance Quest Season 11, and as you can see, there's next to no information available on this other than promises to update rewards, maps, and more. Rewards, maybe more glory, that would be great. Maybe an increase to the glory cap would be awesome. Maps, I think this probably means new mini bosses. I'm pretty sure I know who the new mini bosses were. I'm also pretty sure I'm not allowed to say, so I'll just have to wait and see on that. So some good news, bad news when it comes to Alliance Quest. The good news is that starting with Season 11, all AQ maps, including Map 8, are going to be completely free, which is great because I hate buying AQ tickets every day with gold. The gold economy is terrible, and I hate waste. It feels like a waste of gold, right? The bad news is that, some of what you're paying for AQ every week right now is instead going to go to the new Alliance Raids mode whenever that comes out. I don't know when that's coming out. So your costs are still going to end up much lower because you only run raids once a month. So the other 3 weeks out of that month, you're going to be running AQ, which is free. So your costs are going to be 75% lower than what they are right now. So still a big improvement. Number 5 is the champion update for November, and it is Sandman. Very excited about this. I like Sandman quite a bit. I took him to rank 5 a couple weeks ago for Alliance War attack because I'm assuming my Void is going to be permabanned this season, so got to get another tactic attacker in. So these numbers, I'm not going to read through all of these in detail. Most important thing is the cap for his heavy proficiency stacks are down from 10 to 8. That means his ramp up is going to be faster and more meaningful every time you heavy. And then he's got all burst damage is going to scale with modified attack instead of base attack. So especially for a mode like Alliance War, when you're going to be boosting quite a bit, at least in higher tiers, he is going to be dealing some serious damage when you get those physical bursts gone. So very excited about this. Again, I like Sandman quite a bit, and I think this is going to make him a much better champion overall. Number 6 are some quality of life improvements coming next month. The first of which is called Max Level Instant Upgrade. So I'm assuming this means that if you don't have gold or ISO, you can now use units to level up a champ from any existing level up to the max level of the current rank. So that's cool. The second one is called the Boost Tray, which I will bring up a picture of here. So it's this thing down here in the bottom left corner under Zemo. So these little buttons here will be highlighted if you have a boost of that type active, and then underneath, you can't see because there isn't one active right now. Underneath each of these little squares is going to be a tiny timer that will show how long you have remaining on each type of boost. So really nice to see this information kind of at a glance. Not sure who to thank for this. I did ask Kabam Zero if it was him, and he said no, but shout out to Kabam Zero anyways, I guess, for just being an all-around very cool guy. All right, number 7 is Prime Gaming. So a lot of folks, including me, were bummed when Kabam ended their collaboration with Marvel Insider. If you did Marvel Insider stuff, it was a really good way to get exclusive 2-star versions of champions. If you're a champion collector, that was nice to have. If you're sub to Amazon Prime going forward, you'll be getting some free stuff hopefully every month starting with November, where you'll get 3-star versions of both Kushala and Chee'ilth. Plus, looks like a featured Cavalier Crystal for each of them, and then some energy refills. So free stuff, always very cool. Last but not least is one of the most extensive list of bug fixes I can recall going over in an update video. If you want to pause the video and kind of read through these, be my guest. I'm only going to cover 4 of them, I think. So the first one I'm going to cover is on the second page here. So here we go. Updated Yondu, X23, and Elektra to respond to champions that gain and lose bleed immunity within a fight. So I'm going to use Absorbing Man as an example here. So Absorbing Man, if you fight him, he starts out the fight bleed immune, but if you push him to his special 2, he loses that bleed immunity. So currently, if you were fighting Absman with X23, she would start out the fight knowing that he's bleed immune and she would be getting her cruelties, right? But then when he would lose that bleed immunity, she would not be able to bleed him. She would still instead gain cruelties. So they are now able to dynamically respond to that immunity within a fight and appropriately change their mechanics. So now at the start of the fight, again using Carl as an example, X23 will gain those cruelties against him, but if you push him to the special 2, then she will successfully be able to bleed him. And that'll work for Yondu and Elektra, and I'm pretty sure it's going to work for Morbius as well. So he'll be able to change from bleeds to the ruptures and back and forth depending. All right, this next one I've been waiting to be fixed for literally years, and it's finally getting fixed. Fixed an issue where Flux Dispersal could fail to reset due to ability accuracy reduction. So if you don't know what Flux Dispersal is, it's a node where every time you hit into a defender, they get a 5% protection, and then if you hit 20 hits, they're essentially taking no damage, and then you need to hit them with a heavy in order to reset that protection. So previously, if you were running the Pacify Mastery or the Assassin Mastery, if you tried to reset their charges with a heavy attack, the reset could fail and you would continue to do no damage. And this node was the biggest reason why I stopped running the Pacify Mastery. I couldn't handle not being able to consistently reset. So that is going to work 100% from now on, which is a great change. Really, really happy they finally got to it, even if it was a couple years too late, right? Next one is this one. Fixed an issue where fighting Black Widow Deadly Origin with a Black Widow Relic would crash the game. This has been a problem, I think, for a couple months now, and I don't remember who finally figured out that it was a problem with the Relic. But yeah, that's going to be fixed, so no more crashes there. And then last one is this one here. Fixed an issue where Iceman was detonating his Frostbite passes on blocked hits. So if you play Iceman offensively, especially since his buff, this was a huge problem because you basically couldn't take any blocked hits with him. Otherwise, your damage ramp would be pretty much gone. That's going to do it for November. Again, a lot going on next month. Sandman buff, new AQ, Necropolis, an additional Ascension for Paragon players, and last but not least, Kushala and Chee'ilth. Folks, let me know in the comments below what you are most excited about next month. And as always, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.